India is developing an underground naval base in Bay of Bengal near Visakhapatnam. Built along the sea in underground chambers, the base is going to house India's nuclear submarines. This video is all about INS Varsha, the underground naval base that will be instrumental in strengthening the country's naval defense capabilities. We will also learn why such underground bases are necessary and why Visakhapatnam has been handpicked for this. The Eastern Command of Indian Navy is headquartered in Visakhapatnam. Over 50 warships operate out of this base. The fact that Visakhapatnam port is landlocked, deep water port guarantees natural protection to our warships. However, the Visakhapatnam container terminal is also very close to naval base. They share the same entry that is bordered by mountains. For this reason, this path remains is almost always congested with traffic. One of the main reasons why the new naval base is needed is that it will decongest this path. But there is another very important reason. Our enemy's eyes in the sky spy satellites. All the images that we just saw are freely and easily available on Google Maps. A bigger danger though are the spy satellites that capture every tiny moment in our naval camps and relay it to enemies, especially regarding our nuclear submarines like INS Arihant. Being a nuclear submarine, Arihant can remain underwater for months and constantly travel long distances, making it impossible for enemies to locate it accurately. But enemy satellites can easily observe the submarines as they leave from or return to their base. This provides a pretty accurate idea regarding the class and number of submarines currently in deployment, which in turn may provide clues on what sort of defense preparation is being undertaken by us. In a warlike situation, it becomes imperative that the confidentiality of the whereabouts of INS Arihant, which is also a part of India's nuclear triad, and other submarines belonging to the same class are strictly protected. This is where underground bases become crucial. The new base is being constructed at Rambili, a village 50 kilometers away from Visakhapatnam. The place was chosen for its characteristic underground chambers. They allow the submarines to enter and exit the base via tunnels without having to come up to the surface, thus obstructing imaging by spy satellites. Thus, the underground base facilitates the secret deployment of our submarines. Given that the base is 12 meters deep and its entrance of Bay of Bengal, it can easily house our large submarines. It will also have designated facilities for the maintenance of submarines and have amenities for the crew to rest. The fact that enemy countries can't learn about our submarine deployment gives us a strategic upper hand. Another impressive fact about the underground base is that it can withstand even nuclear attacks from the enemy. The very knowledge that any nuclear attack on the country would be answered with an immediate retaliation is a credible deterrent. The retaliatory strike will result in mutual destruction and would make the enemy think 10 times before waging such an attack. It is not just the presence of ideal geographic condition or its proximity to the Eastern Naval Command that makes Rambili the best location for the new base. The proximity to Bhabha Atomic Research Center also helps immensely. The construction of new nuclear submarines and fitting them with nuclear reactors also happen nearby. The base can accommodate at least 12 such nuclear submarines at a time. Apart from nuclear submarines, diesel-electric submarines may also be housed in this base. This is not the first time that a country has constructed underground naval bases. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union had widely used such an underground chambers. This has been pictured in several classic Bond movies as well. But most of these chambers were abandoned after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and many of these function as museums now. In the recent past, such bases attracted worldwide attention with China's submarine bases across their coast. China has built 6 such bases across its coast, and more than 60 Chinese submarines operate out of them. These submarines are tasked with adopting sea denial strategy against ships from the other countries in South China region if required. Among these bases, the largest one of is the Yulin base situated in Hainan Island. Recently, an American company had released satellite images of a Chinese nuclear submarine entering this base. Given its proximity to India, many Indian analysts see this base as a potential threat. It is assumed that the submarines from Yulin can pose serious threat to Indian ships if there is a conflict. More than 50% of the world's commercial sea traffic passes through this area. It can also undermine Indian influence in the Indian Ocean region, which she considers as her zone of influence. China may try to exert its control on this region as it had done with the South China Sea region in the last decade. On the pretext of research, Chinese ships have been surveying the region and recording the depth of the sea at each point. This data can be crucial if China decides to send its aircraft carrier group to the Indian Ocean region in future. Hence, it is imperative that India proactively responds to this threat right away. Herein lies the relevance of our submarines and INS Varsha. Another key reason is the protection of India's optical fiber network. A large number of data, including the bits for this video that you are watching now, as well as extremely confidential national security related messages, pass through these submarines cables. If an enemy can access these cables, they may disrupt our telecommunication networks or tap confidential information, thereby threatening our national security. To avoid this at any cost, it is important to ensure the strategic deployment of our own submarines. A few years back, Pakistani spies had embarked on a mission to obtain information about the base being developed in Rambili. Their attempt was to gather pictures and information regarding the defense preparation underway there. It needs to be noted that this video has entirely been based on the bits of information that the Indian Navy and other national media platforms have made public. Though the planning for the project commenced almost a decade back, it was only in the past few years that the pace of construction picked up pace. The first phase of the construction, which is being undertaken by L&T, is believed to be completed and will be operationalized by 2022. This will enable us to ensure more effective deployment to our nuclear submarines, thereby protecting our national interests. Jai Hind.